Hi guys and welcome back to the Mighty Blues instant match reaction. Crystal Palace 3, Everton 1 at Selhurst Park. Doing it through the computer, so it's not the usual angle and start. The reason for that is because my phone's died. But yeah, another defeat for Rafa Benitez's Everton side. Meaning last week's win against Arsenal means absolutely nothing. You may as well void it, you may as well forget about it, it may as well not have happened. It is pointless. Another defeat for Everton, another defeat in a game that we should have been winning. I think that's 2 wins in 2 months now, and when you think about the sides that we've played in that time, no disrespect to any of them, but there's really only Manchester City and Liverpool who you could look at and maybe think, okay, I don't really expect Everton to win that game. But some of the losses, Crystal Palace now, Brentford, Watford, Wolves, Villa, all teams that we should be looking at getting all 3 points in. And, you know, a lot of those games you should be looking at turning up and not even really having to work that hard to get all 3 points in either. But as it goes, another defeat for Rafa Benitez, and a defeat that for me should probably see the end of Rafa Benitez's time at Everton Football Club. Look, I understand that it's not all on him. I understand that we've had injuries. I understand that, you know, we've had FFP. I understand that there's been this issue, that issue, and that there's this problem and that problem at the football club. But tactically, this manager is simply inept. He doesn't understand how to set this club up. He doesn't understand how to set these players up. And when you go, you know, 2 months without a win, you get a really, really good positive win on Monday night. You know, the manager's been saying for a while, it'll all change when we get that 1 win. It'll all change when we get that 1 win. And then we turn up less than a week later against the okay Crystal Palace side, nothing special, and we make them look like Barcelona and perform like that and lose another game of football. For me, if he was in charge of any other football club in any of Europe's top 5 leagues, he'd have been sacked by now. And I understand that there's some people that'll say it's not all of it, you know, it's not all his fault and there's other issues and this, that and the other, but I just don't see, as I said that after the derby, I don't see a way back for Rafa Benitez. You know, an okay Monday was great and it was brilliant, but as I've just said, you may as well forget about Monday. Monday is absolutely pointless. Now, this again today showed what Everton are about at the moment, and that is just another gutless, dreadful, disgraceful, pathetic, you know, awful performance, and the manager has to take blame for that. Tactically, he's inept. Some of his decisions again today were ridiculous. We've been crying out for a 3 in midfield for so long. He finally plays 3 in midfield, or plays 3 midfielders in the same team, and instead of playing a 4-3-3, which is what we've all been saying we need, which is what changed the game on Monday night against Arsenal, he decides to play this strange 4-2-3-1 or 4-2-1-3, whatever you want to call it, with Andre Gomes playing as a number 10. Andre Gomes isn't a number 10. He never has been a number 10. He never will be a number 10. We wanted a straight 3 in midfield across the same line to give Abdoulaye Doucouré that time to move forward. Not Andre Gomes just standing around in the number 10 position, sometimes even in the false 9 position, doing nothing. It was another absolutely awful performance. And as I said, I can't see how Farhad Moshiri doesn't make that decision now. I know he's backed them. I know it was his decision to bring Rafa Benitez in. I know there was a lot of controversy. I know that, you know, he mightn't want to make the decision because it'll prove him wrong and fans will be proven right, etc, etc. But if I'm totally honest, I don't give a fuck about any of that. I could not give a fuck about who's right, who's wrong. They're in the right, they're in the wrong. He was proving this, proving that. I don't give a fuck. All I care about is Everton Football Club, and Everton Football Club playing well and winning games of footy. And we're not doing it anymore. We're not doing it. And when it comes to something when all as the manager can say is, I know the city, that's when you know you're in the shit. That's when you know. He doesn't know how to win football matches. He doesn't know how to make the tough decisions, but he knows where Rice Lane and County Road is, so that's all that matters. It's beyond the point now. It's absolutely beyond the point. And for me, the decision's there. The decision is simple for the club to make, and that decision is that, you know, he has to move on. For me, pardon me, while I just fix the green screen behind me because it's flickering a little bit. It's simple. It's simple for me. He's lost the dressing room, in my opinion. He's lost the dressing room. He's lost the fans, and when you've lost the dressing room, you've lost the fans, and your side are in a dangerous position in regards to league table and league position and league form, then I just think we've got to move on now. Move him on, bring somebody else in, whether it's Duncan Ferguson for the short term or whether it's somebody else, just bring somebody in that's going to rally this club together. What Everton need at the moment is somebody that has us singing off of the same hymn sheet, somebody that has us working to the same plan, somebody that unites the fans, the players, everybody at the football club becomes united and gets behind this one manager or director of football or whoever it may be. We need that at Everton at the moment. I've never known this football club to have so much division within it. I've never known this football club to be so divided. The fans haven't got a good relationship with the manager and never were going to have, considering his part. You can say what you like about him managing Liverpool. You can say what you like about not caring or it's not about that, this, that and the other. The reality is, if we were to ever go on a run that we're currently on, the big talking point was going to be, he's an ex-Liverpool manager, he doesn't care, this, that and the other. It was never going to work, this appointment. It was never, ever, ever going to work for Rafa Benitez. And as I said, I'm not saying he's completely at fault. I'm not saying he takes sole responsibility. He doesn't. But the news coming out of the football club at the moment is it seems that the owner is willing to give Rafa Benitez the full control of the club. You know, we see Marcel Brands leave. Last week we saw a couple of other members of the recruitment team, head of recruitment, leaving the football club. We've seen medical staff leaving the football club. What's the manager going to do? Blame it on the canteen workers? Is he going to go into Finch Farm and sack the fella who works the gate at the front? Is he going to go in there and sack the kit man? When is he going to take some responsibility for the performances on the pitch? Because the reality is, doesn't matter however many people get the sack at the football club and get moved on, whilst the manager is still making inept, awful decisions week in, week out, that falls on the manager. And I don't understand how Farhad Moshiri, I know he doesn't know anything about football. I know that. We all know that. This fella hasn't got a clue about football. But I didn't think he had that less of a clue that he is willing to give full control of a football club to a manager who currently sees Everton sitting in a very, very, very dangerous position coming up to Christmas. We've got Chelsea on Thursday, which will be an absolute, we may as well not watch it. We will watch it, obviously we will, but we may as well not because it'll be a walkover. We've got Leicester coming up, who have won again today, a big, big game. Okay, they haven't been in great form, but they'll have some confidence from that to bounce back. Currently sitting in 8th, I think, and they've had a poor season. I look at the league table, I look at the fixtures we've got, I look at the performances, and I think, when does it get too much? When do the club look at it and go, something needs to change here? Because that will happen, by the way. It's inevitable. I said that after the derby. It mightn't have been then, it mightn't be tonight, it mightn't be tomorrow. It will come a point over the next coming weeks and months where Rafa Benitez leaves his role as Everton manager. It's inevitable for me. I don't see a world in which he turns this round. And if the club are going to look at it in a month's time, midway through January, when we're in a relegation battle and it's really, really tough to get out of that situation at that time in the season, why not look at it now and make the decision now and at least give us a fighting chance? I know, had we have won today, we'd have gone in the top 10, and I get that the league's all fluctuated and a couple of wins can get you back up there, but the reality is I don't see where a couple of wins come from. And today proved it. Today proved more than anything that this Everton side is incapable of putting a couple of wins together. We can win in great fashion like we did on Monday because the fans are behind the team and this, that and the other. But I said, all of that is void if we can't turn up against the average Crystal Palace side and put in a decent shift and win this game today. And we couldn't. We had 22% possession in the first half. We made Crystal Palace look like Barcelona. It was utterly, utterly embarrassing again. The manager brought the team news out an hour before the game. No surprise to see Luca Dean not in there. Now, whilst I didn't have a massive qualm with Ben Godfrey playing left back, and I actually thought Ben Godfrey today was probably one of the better performers in the Everton side, I don't see how the manager can justify keeping a player of Luca Dean's quality out of the entire side, to be honest with you. And I know he hasn't been great this season, I understand that. But the reality of the situation is he is he is our most creative player. And I don't know what's gone on, but I highly suggest the pair of them get it sorted. If Rafa Benitez is going to stay in a job, get it sorted. Because I don't give a shit. I'm not team Benitez, I'm not team Dean, I'm team Everton fucking Football Club and Everton winning games of footy. I don't give a fuck what problem you have got with each other or what disagreement you've had. It's about what's best for Everton. And I don't think anybody can watch that today, even with Ben Godfrey at left back, and say that Luca Dean not being in the matchday squad is best for Everton. Even if he drops to the bench and he comes on, or he has to fight for his place or whatever, but completely just seeing him out the team and almost saying, no, go away, is nonsense for me. Seamus Coleman has started at right back. Michael Keane and Mason Holgate at centre back. As I said, we thought we had a 4-3-3. We thought we had Gomez, Delph, and Decore across the middle. Alan obviously out, seemingly with an injury. I don't know why, but he obviously wasn't fit enough to play. And a front three of Richarlison, Gray, and Townsend. And as I said, you would think Rafa Benitez would have looked at that last 15-20 minutes against Arsenal and thought, you know what? I'll have a flat front three, middle three here in the midfield, and I'll have Richarlison up front with Gray and Townsend either side of him. He decided to go with Andre Gomez in a sort of false 9, number 10 position, and Richarlison stuck out on the wing. When Richarlison put up arguably one of his best performances in an Everton shirt, maybe even his best performance in an Everton shirt last Monday, as a striker up front, he lashes him on the wing. Crystal Palace were much the better team throughout the entirety of the game, had all of the ball effectively, created all of the opportunities, put so much pressure on Everton defensively. The entire back line, with the exception of Ben Godfrey, was atrocious, absolutely abysmal. Seamus Coleman, Mason Holgate and Michael Keane need to go home and have a serious look at themselves in the mirror and have a conversation with themselves about whether or not they're Premier League footballers, because after that today, I really, really don't know whether they are. And, you know, the first goal comes as a gift. Damari Gray gets the ball rifled at him from about 10 yards away from, I don't know who it was. He makes a bad decision, to be fair. He makes a bad decision. I think it's Ayew gets the ball in to Conor Gallagher. He finishes, it's 1-0. Again, Everton are half threatening, half chances. There was one where Ben Godfrey made a really good run down the left-hand side, put it across, and Andre Gomez volleyed into the keeper's palm, but it wasn't really anything too big. Palace go 2-0 up in the second half. Again, ball in. Tompkins knocks it into the back of the net, completely unmarked. Absolutely pathetic defending. There was a call for a foul. I did think Andy Madley today, the referee, was a disgrace. And VAR was a disgrace, because for any of the other top 4, 5, 16, whatever you want to say, that gets given as a foul. Seamus Coleman's ragged back on the halfway line in the build-up to that goal, and VAR doesn't even look at it. Palace should have had 2 men sent off as well. Wilfred Zaha raises his hand to Fabian Delph, and a decision isn't made because Fabian Delph walks off, and I can't remember who else it was, but somebody stamped on Seamus Coleman's leg in the second half, and Seamus Coleman, as he does, Mr. Nice Guy, gets up and walks away and says, don't worry about that, ref, no problem at all. Do me a favour, Seamus, do me a favour. I'm not saying it's his fault that, you know, that the referee made such a bad decision, but why isn't he getting in the referee's face? Why isn't he saying, have a look at that, that's a shocking challenge? Why is he running away as if everything's alright? You're never going to get the decision if you're running away, are you? And do you know what? Had the referee got the red card out, Seamus Coleman would have probably gone up and said, no, put that away, it's alright, mate, no red card. Absolutely shocking. Yeah. We get one back. Solomon Rondon, of course, comes on. At this point, again, it's game over at this point. We were never getting back into it at 2-0. Rondon has come on at this point for Richarlison, which was a baffling substitution. Why he didn't come on for Andros Townsend? Andros Townsend's had another 90 minutes of doing absolutely nothing in an Everton shirt and got away with it. Rondon, to be fair to him, does well for the goal, holds it up well, gets it to Decore gets the shot off, Rondon gets on the end of it and puts it in the back of the net. And you're sort of thinking, 15 minutes to go, can we see a little bit from Everton here? Will we maybe go out and get an equaliser? As I said, we're playing Crystal Palace, no disrespect, but they're not Bayern fucking Munich. They're Crystal Palace. Can we go out there and maybe add a little bit of pressure, press them a little bit higher, work a bit harder like we did last week against Arsenal? We had a couple of half chances. Anthony Gordon probably with the best of them, gets through one-on-one with the keeper, takes the decision to shoot, and the keeper saves it, and then it falls into the box, and obviously no Everton player is aware or awake to get on the end of it, because why would they be? That's asking them to do something, and why would these players do anything? And then, last couple of minutes, Seamus Coleman does decide to turn his snide side on, wins a free kick. A Crystal Palace player, again I can't remember who it is standing in front of it. Coleman tries to smash it at him from 2 yards out, to prove a point to the referee that he was standing in front of the ball. Completely misses the player from 2 yards out. It falls to Conor Gallagher. Andre Gomez is pissing about. Conor Gallagher gets it, and curls it into the top corner, and it's a great finish, and it's 3-1, and it's game over. And it proves the point that that's probably why Seamus Coleman doesn't like to argue decisions, because even when he does show a bit of snideness, he ends up making another mistake. But yeah, as I said, 22% possession in the first half. I'm not too sure what it ended in the second half, but it's another absolutely abysmal performance, another absolutely abysmal result, and I don't see a way back for the manager. I simply don't see a way back for the manager. I think the owner needs to make a serious, tough decision. And the reason I say tough, by the way, I said tough on Twitter, and some people said, why is it tough, Cam? Why is it tough? It's tough because the owner is talking about giving this manager full control of the football club. He's openly coming out and backing him. That's why it's a tough decision. It's simple. It's a tough decision. It's not a tough decision for me. Either being sacked weeks ago if it was for me, because you don't go on a run as a Premier League manager of 2 months without a win, or 1 win in 2 months, and keep your job. It's non-existent. Doesn't happen. But it's a tough decision for Farhad Moshiri to make because he clearly doesn't want to make it. But if he doesn't make that decision, then he's accepting the fact that Everton are and will be further in a more and more dangerous position as the weeks go on. Because I'm sick of hearing about injuries. You can moan all you like, Benitez, about injuries, but at the end of the day, when you're keeping a player of Luca Dean's quality out the squad because you've had a bit of a disagreement, you can't really sit and moan about how badly we've been affected by injuries. You just can't. But yeah, there you go. Another defeat for Everton, and it's another defeat that makes me less and less interested as the weeks go on. I honestly was watching that game thinking, can I really be bothered doing videos after it? No, I can't. But here we are. I don't know where we go from here. If the manager stays in the job, I don't know where we go. I really, really don't. There you go then. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Play ratings will be up shortly. If you've enjoyed this one, leave it a like. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new as well. And yeah, let us know your thoughts in the comments. Cheers for watching, and we'll see you after.